go. Hi, everybody. Maybe we'll just turn that a little bit up so you can hear that in the background. That's nice. Hi. Hi. My name's Mykel. Mykel19XX. You're watching the Courtesy Flush. Hey, thanks for tuning in tonight. Our guy, Mr. Crowwind, Mike Fields, the one, the only, is suffering from that thing that just makes you poop all the time. And he'd be here, but he doesn't want to keep getting up and pooping throughout the whole stream. No, he has food poisoning. And he was nice enough to just set everything up for me to make a goddamn fool of myself tonight. I am going to play a little bit of Tetris 99. For people who don't know, which might be everybody, that is a Battle Royale Tetris. And if you don't know what Battle Royale is, it means when a lot of people come together and it's mass elimination style. It's like a huge death match. And so the way they got this set up is you play the game. Well, why don't I show you? Why don't I just go to that stream and just turn up that stream audio. This is PC. Maybe it's that one. No, it's not. He said it was NA. I knew it was. There we go. So this is Tetris 99. And this is me getting an abysmal ranking. Oh, okay. So we're just going to jump right into it. All right. So, hey, there is 99 other people playing this game with me at this very moment. And very many more playing in other games. And I am one of many. And I just have to do well. I have to play Tetris. I have to play Tetris well. And sometimes I get dumped on. But we'll take a look. This is a free game on the Nintendo Switch. Tetris. I'm hearing that pop because I'm a poppy boy. I'll just have to be very careful about my pops. Tetris, and I don't know the history because I'm just a casual fan. Like, I'd assume everybody is, really. And it's like, who doesn't like Tetris? It's classic, which isn't a great argument. I know people who hate that argument. It's a classic game. Why don't you like it? Why don't you like it along with everybody else? Like the Beatles. Everybody likes the Beatles. What's wrong with you? They'd tell me. They wouldn't tell me because I'm one of those people. I used to think that was a good reason, but it's not actually. And as you can see, I'm already screwing this way up. I have my well and truly blocked, and I'm just blocking it more now. Wow, I'm just making a massive mess of things. Let's see if I can get myself out of this situation. I somehow managed to knock somebody out. Alright, so Tetris 99. A great game if there ever was one. Because Tetris is it's satisfying to me. I know. And I feel like it has that effect on a lot of people. Also simultaneously frustrating as all hell. Because you might know, oh, I know what kind of orientation I want. I know where I want that block to go. And that doesn't, because you're not dexterous enough. You haven't studied long enough. And that's hard. It's hard to learn that about yourself. That you just haven't made it yet. And you just have to keep trying. Like, that's all. Because that's all anything is, really. You get slowly better at things. And sometimes you just get really lucky. Like that. And honestly, I don't know what I'm doing right now. It's like I'm just playing well, but the people I'm being matched up against aren't that fantastic. And as you can see on the left side of my screen, I have that flashing yellow blocks that pop up sometimes. Sometimes they go red. And that's how much I'm being dunked on at any given point in time. And if I get a lot in there, I'm getting dunked on hard. And it means I'm playing against somebody who's really good at the game. But right now, I'm not getting dunked on very hard. And I'm going to play for a while. Like, for a while. As long as I can stand it, really. And as long as I can keep coming up with things to say, which isn't going to be hard, because, man, do I love to talk. But how am I doing? So I'm doing all right. Still not getting dunked on, dumped on so very hard. But I could be playing better. As you can see, I'm making rookie mistakes. I'm blocking myself. And I don't have a established well. It's all for naught. And so what I'm doing now is I'm cleaning. I'm cleaning what I have blocked, and if I do that well enough, like just there, I did some pretty good jobs. But that doesn't really help me, like as far as winning goes. It helps me stay alive, that's for sure. But oh shit. Oh. Okay, everything, just speed up caught me off guard. This isn't good. Gonna undo all of the work that I've just done. No, this is, it's over. It's all over. Jeez. And everyone believed in me. Everyone said, hey, be that guy who can save us. Be the man who can play Tetris for us. You understand. But no. Okay, I'm doing it. Courtesy Flush believes in me. Also, there's an event going on right now. Apparently, if you get... I'll go to the home screen and we can see. Because this is the only that's the only part of the game. They have the game, and then they have events where you play the game. And then sometimes they don't have events, but you still play the game. But yeah, they have the Tetris 99, the second Maximus Cup. So if I started playing at 6 a.m. today, and just played for the whole weekend, I might get in the top 999 players, and then I'll get 999 Nintendo Gold points. Don't think I'm gonna make it. I don't like it. 15th place. Yeah, it's okay. That's admirable. I'm never satisfied unless I get like top 10. I feel like that's where you're really cutting the mustard. Like if you're getting top 10 consistently, that's a pretty good player. And I've only won once. I've won one time, and I was very happy. I was very happy when that happened. So my general strategy here is to keep flat, because I've seen things go well when you're flat. You see right there, I'm going vertical, and then bad things happen because I went vertical. See, it's like the more vertical I have, the more upset I get, because I can't place things easily. Like, look at all that nonsense. That's disgusting. Ugh. So I have to put a long piece there. What long piece should always go in the well. That's the well. That's my well. So the well is nice. That was bad. I'm gonna do that. So there are clever moves where you can just like clear some pieces and block your well, but only intermittently. And that's cool. But like right there, that's not cool because my well's well unblocked. And now I have to spend a line piece to unblock my well, and now I'm just burning because I'm getting attacked, and this isn't optimal play. Not that I haven't been playing long, it's like, I've been playing, I am familiar with Tetris. So that's the first thing. It's like, since Tetris came out on the Nintendo Game Boy, not the NES, I'm not that familiar because, oh man, I don't even know if I was born when the NES came out. I probably was. We can get our fact checkers on that. But my sister had a Game Boy first, actually. And it's funny, like, I don't know Why did she have a Game Boy? Like, I don't know if maybe she just wanted it for Tetris, because she she was a super cool gamer. Still isn't. But maybe that's what she liked. Maybe she liked Mario, maybe she liked Tetris when she was smaller, but she likes concrete things now, and books about psychology and true crime, and I don't know if she likes true crime. She's got enough of that in her life already. So that's where I was introduced to Tetris. It was just something that my sister had, and I remember what I liked about it the most. You know what I liked the most? Cake farts. No, that's no, what I liked about it the most was the music, because you could change your music type. I was like, oh, this is fucking good music. I want to go to bed to this, like sleep, because I was like 4. So but I'd play a little bit, and it's like I was young. It's like I'd do about as well as you would expect. And I focused on Mario more. I really like that. Super Mario Land 3 for the Game Boy. Everybody remember that? Where you big fat fucking Wario getting coins and doing shit. So 1985 in North America. Oh wow, okay, so we do have fact checkers. Yeah, so I was not born. I was 5 years from even being thought about. In fact, I wasn't even thought about. That's a whole other story. But okay, so Game Boy, and then like I just knew of it. Like it was part of my, not identity, but my knowledge. I was familiar with Tetris. It's like, do you know what Tetris is? Like, yeah, it's a puzzle game. And you play it and you have fun. And now I'm thinking, it's like I probably played it on mobile before, if I ever played it anywhere. I remember Game Boy Advance got a version, and I bought that version. And I was telling Mike about that earlier. But what ended up happening, and this will happen with any puzzle games I get into, I'll just start playing them at night. Like, I'll just be in bed, and I'll start playing them just before I go to bed. And that's fine in the beginning when you're like no good at them, because like I'll play like a couple times. It's like I'll lose a lot, and then I'll lose a lot like now. And done. Okay, 21st place. That's not too bad. Okay. Well, I play a lot. And I'd be like, okay, well, let's see how far I can get. So it started at level 1, and it's like about 3 weeks into it, I'm getting pretty good at Tetris. Like if I'm playing Endurance, I'm getting to like level 35 before I'm biting it. And it's just like I realized it's like a month into it, I'm staying up like an hour and a half after when I'm supposed to be sleeping. This was a big problem for me all the way in my adolescence. I would read, or I'd play a game, or I'd do something other than go to sleep. And so I'd stay up way past bedtime. And I'd sleep in school. And it's a wonder how I made any progress. Because I just, man, I didn't give a fuck. It was like, man, Tetris is so much more fun than sleeping. And that's what I want to do right now. So I'm going to stay up until 1 a.m. playing Tetris, and forget all about that book report I was supposed to do, because I was like, oh, I'll just go to bed early and play Tetris till. But yeah, I'd usually have some mobile version of Tetris, and I'd come back to it. I think I even bought it from my fucking old T-Mobile, my first phone. It was like a T-Mobile, I think it was a Nokia, but it was like one of the trendier Nokias. My father got it for me because I kept having to borrow people's phones to call him and let him know when football practice was over. This was when I was in high school. Actually, this was... Damn it, what happened? I can't remember if it was that or if it was... There was a reason. It was mostly so I could call my parents and tell them, hey, I'm done. Come pick me up. Oh, yeah. So I was like, hey, I'm done with school. Come pick me up. Or it's like, instead of establishing a real schedule. And it was pay by... It was probably pay by minute. But it's like I didn't call or text anybody. I still don't do that much. Well, I do it more than I did, but I feel like I do it less than everybody else. I feel like everybody is more popular than me. Where was I going with this? Oh, I bought it for my phone. My fucking my fucking phone, like you T9 with. And I didn't play that one very much because, and to this day, I still have a problem with jank controls. I'm not gonna play fucking Minecraft on a phone. Are you kidding? No. That's the worst. I don't want to do that to myself. I want to do it to my thumbs. I don't want to do it to my screen. That's just gonna make me mad. Like, why would you do that to yourself? You have to really love the game or really hate yourself. So I bought for that, and I don't know if I bought a version for the PSP when it was out, and I had one. Like all the other cool kids. Like that cool kid from Persona 3 with his PSP. But I did have Luminis, which was a Tetris-like game, which its big feature was a lot of music. They had a lot of, like, I don't think it was copywritten, because, I mean, I didn't know who the fuck they were, but it was professional music. It was good music, and it was amazing to look at. That was another thing I'd play until like 1 in the morning. I just get really obsessed with it. Obsessed is the wrong word, because I feel like it's... I was obsessed with a few things in my life, and sorry to say most of them were women. And I learned way too late in life how unhealthy that was. Shit. Getting real on tonight's Courtesy Flush. But, okay. So, a lot of mobile games, and then, when did I get I got the Nintendo Switch not soon after it came out. Not immediately. Because what happened was our friend Pio, she was like, I got Breath of the Wild. And I was like, what are you talking about? Did you get a Switch? And she's like, no, they have it for the Wii U. And I was like, holy fuck, I got a Wii U, and I fucking think that game looks really fucking cool. I want to play that game. And I was like, oh man, I would have to buy a new console, but I didn't. So I got Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, and so did Pio. Let me get out of this real quick. Shit. Listen. Yeah, I deserve that. But I don't remember what it was that got me to go buy a Switch. You know what? I think I got paid. That's probably what happened. I was probably doing a job. I got a lot of money. And I was like, oh man, that's a lot of money. What do I like? What do I like the most? I was like, I want that new Nintendo Switch everybody's been talking about. So I got that. And Puyo Puyo Tetris was available for it, and it was like $20. And that's something that you can learn about me, is Michael will drop $250, $300 on a new system and then be like stingy about what games he wants to get. Honestly, the reason I wasn't super excited is because I already had Breath of the Wild, which was like, that's the system seller. Mario wasn't out yet, and a bunch of the other games I'd already played before, like Super Meat Boy. Like, I wasn't gonna get Super Meat Boy, or Super Meat Boy Forever, or Binding of Isaac, the Suffering, or whatever. Y'all know. But I play those games already. Like, I had them. They were on my computer. Or I had them for, like, Wii U. Or, you know, Mario Kart came out. And it's like, everybody, new Mario Kart. Yay! That's fun, right? Everybody's gonna have fun playing Mario Kart. I had a Wii U. I had Mario Kart for the Wii U. I bought that so I could make friends. I was like, hey, come to my house and we'll play Mario Kart on my Wii U. I was one of the few people that bought a Wii U. I still think it's a cool system. I think, God, I'm big in the Dungeons and Dragons, so, wow, I'm so big into Dungeons and Dragons. I'm such a super fan. I've been playing since it came out in 1973, and, no, I've always liked the idea of Dungeons and Dragons, and I've only recently started actually playing any version of it. I deserve to lose this game. Here we go. So, like, the Wii U, and the way they had a couple of games where there'd be a game master with the big tablet controller, and then everybody else would be on, like, regular controllers. I fucking love that. Like, you get asymmetrical experiences, and that opens you up to a lot of different like, they already have the screen built in. Like, that is your little private window of information. And so it's like we'd play Luigi's Haunted Ghost, Don't Get Hit by the Ghost game on the little demo whatever's they give you. Actually, you had to buy that shit, I think. I can't remember. Everybody loved that. And everybody wanted more of it, but nobody was brave enough to make games that did something like that. Because, as anybody will tell you, nobody wants to go with something new. Investors want things that are established. Things that they know will sell. Hey, that's a T-spin? I don't do those very often. Can we get PogChamp in the chat, please? For a T-spin. Apparently, if you're really good, you pull off that a lot. That really helps you in the Battle Royale scene, is the T-spins. But I haven't learned to incorporate them into my stack. That's what the pros call it. Anywho. So, Wii U. I like Wii U. But I got the Switch, and Puyo Puyo Tetris was like $20. I was like, fuck yeah. I don't know about Puyo Puyo, but I know about Tetris, as I explained before. You play it and you have fun. So I got Puyo Puyo Tetris, and like, beat the base game over the course of, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. Just got better at both Puyo Puyo and Tetris. Learned about setting up combos in Puyo Puyo. I like Puyo Puyo. I like Tetris better. I'm not going to say which one is better or not, because I think they're comparable, but they're not so comparable that you're like, oh, this is where this one succeeds and this one fails. And one is about setting up combos, and the other one is about order and dexterity. They both need dexterity. So how am I doing? We're top 50. We've made it past that far. I'm up against some people who know what they're doing now. Yeah, you can see how much I'm getting dunked on. Why is James crying? Because he just got dunked on. Now I have a significant wow. And so now I just need the straight pieces, but do that. Do that. That might not matter. I need to be able to clear off. Here we go. Let's see how he likes that. See if he can send it back to me. Oh, he might send it back to me. Put you here. Put you here. So speed is your friend. Like, that's what you want to be. You want to be speedy. Because if you can be speedy, then, like, beat everybody. You just get more points by doing things. And, see, I'm trying to do my best. I gotta talk to all the people in Radio Land. Because that's what stream is. Alright, I'm gonna uncover this well. We're doing okay. Oh, jeez. I was gonna uncover that well. Oh, jeez. It's just gonna have to be a slog. I'm just gonna have to do better. Okay. I think they have me. Yeah. Oh. I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. Yep. Oh, wow. Alright. So I got Puyo Puyo Tetris. I got back in the Tetris. I played that for a bit, and they have a versus, but then I realized just, like, the people that are playing versus on Puyo Puyo Tetris, oh my goodness. They got some good people playing Tetris. There's some, obviously, there's some good people playing Tetris here. It just makes me feel good, because it's like, I make it to, like, 14. I get to pretend I'm better than 86 other people. And that's why Battle Royale is fairly popular. It's like, you invest some time. If you make it far, you feel accomplished. It's like, oh, I made it. I made it further than the other people. But you'll never get that hole out of your chest until you win. And then once you win, it's like, well, that's the normal now. I deserve it because I am that good. But you're not. Oh, it hurts. It hurts to acknowledge, but you're not that good. And when I say you are not that good, I mean I'm not that good. Oh, it hurts a little bit. It hurts a lot of bit sometimes, but you just let it go. You just let it go, and you just try and have fun, but sometimes you just start making dumb decisions for no reason. And you start filling shit up in the wrong way. And you're like, man, I could do better. I went to college. I went to collage. And I have a piece of paper that says I'm smart. I swear to God. Oh. But then, hey, there's people that have fucking... Okay, NES came out in 1985. 1985. It's the year 2019. That means... And I don't know if Tetris came out right away. I imagine it might have. We'll say it came out 1 year after. No, you know what? We'll say it came out the same year. And, so 1985, 2019. That's 15 plus 19. That's gonna be 34 years, right? That sounds right. So there are people that have been playing Tetris for 34 years. They might be your parents. They might be your brother or sister. They're at least 40 some odd years old, maybe. Or maybe not. Maybe they've been playing since like fucking cradle to the grave. And that's how they got so good. They learned it the hard way, where there was no hard drops. If you wanted to speed along, you had to fucking do this shit. You couldn't just hold it either. You had to press it all the way down. And you were praying for the levels where they dropped fast. That's what you wanted. You didn't want to fucking bleed your thumbs on that shit. They'd be like, well, why do you want to go down so fast? Because I'm so good. I'm so fast. So they put in hard drops in later editions, which was smart. You'll also notice I employ a technique. Well, I employ a concept of the game where you can hold a piece. This is... I think it was an attempt to minimize the effects of random distribution, because that's how Tetris used to work. It used to be, it was a random number generator, and there was no other system other than it pick a number between 1 and 6. Let's count how many shapes there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 tetraminos. And so there was a random number generator, and it would pick 1 through 8 because binary, and 8 would be a reroll. And whatever came up, that's the piece you would get. And you didn't even have a preview. You had nothing. You just got your pieces, and you had to live with it. Which kind of became a problem, because you get what's known as droughts, where if you're trying to go for Tetris, which is the quickest way to rack up points, because Tetris is worth like fucking so many points. It's more than the lines. It's way more. Hold on. This is where it gets exciting. Done. Just a little bit more. I might have survived a little bit longer. Right. So original Tetris, it was random. It was completely random. So there wasn't any. You could go tons of pieces without getting a line piece. Oh, my comebacks are pretty good. It's set up that way. Like because they'll set you up with wells. Like they'll give you, and sometimes they'll stack. Like you get stacking wells, and if you have that well clear and you get some line pieces, you can come back pretty quick. Especially if you can do multiple Tetris in a row, because the way the system works is shit. I just got fucked up. I'm gonna lose. Well, see, and now I just returned because like my well was clear, and I could send them back. But what you'll notice is, and I didn't explain this, and I'm doing it bad now. I'm doing a bad job. Just like what I'm supposed to do. Alright, well, that's fine. Okay, so the way this works is in the left hand of the screen, there's that little well that fills up with squares. What that means is the person I'm playing against, and there's 99 people, and that's determined kind of randomly. I can attack, like I can decide who I want to send that shit to. So the more lines I clear, the more garbage I can send to whoever I'm facing off against. And they're sending me garbage, or I'm getting garbage from someone. And what I have to do is to send garbage at all, I have to have no garbage. So right now I've got garbage that I'm clearing, and then if I leave it alone for too long, it'll stack up on me. I'm gonna lose this. I might not lose this. No, I'm gonna lose this. I give up. No, it was just too dumb. You see that? You do a flub. You do a flub sometimes. You put the T piece not where it's supposed to go, and then you're too high, and you just gotta give it up sometimes. You start over from the beginning. Okay, so you get garbage, and then that garbage will clear. If you clear lines, it'll clear, and if it doesn't clear, it'll eventually turn into lines and it'll stack up from the bottom. And that can be good and bad. It's bad because you don't want shit there. Like, you want to create your well. You want to be the master of your destiny. But if you don't have many, if you've done a good job of clearing, then that stack, especially if it's big, has a good probability of having a well, because that's how you come back. You do a bunch of Tetrises. So you do one Tetris to clear out your garbage, and then you do multiple Tetrises as fast as you can while that garbage is clear to dunk on your opponent. Let's see if this counts as a T-spin. Yep. Okay. I'm getting used to that. I'm getting too overzealous with these drops. Oh man, I keep doing it. So, if you know how the rotation works, that's another thing that they changed in different versions of Tetris. It used to be you couldn't rotate a Tetramino to just do whatever you desired. It just had to go wherever it went. So you couldn't rotate a T piece into something. At least I don't think so. Or it was very difficult to do. Like, you might be able to get away with some T spins, but it was like it was simple. It was a simple game. There wasn't much to it. So I just sent a bunch of garbage to somebody. I need to change it to it. So you have random, KOs, badges, and attackers. Alright, so what does that mean? That boy needs therapy, is what that means. Psychosomatic. There we go. What does that mean? So attackers is anybody who has me targeted, I target right back. That's what my default, that's what I go for. Because, and I don't know this for sure because I haven't played around with it, but I imagine it keeps me alive longer. Because if somebody's coming for me, I can at least challenge them. Because it's like if you were in like a PUBG and somebody was shooting at you, like, you divert your attention to them, as opposed to the person you were hunting. It's like you do a quick turnaround and you're like, oh shit, I'm targeted. I need to defend myself. Other than, it's like, I'm going to get this kill. And you can decide like whether that changes or not. That wasn't my best. Shit. Okay. So that's what I prefer to do. I feel like it's a good way to defend myself. I feel like it's a good way to stay alive in the game. But then what you could also do is you could target randoms. So it just at random, it targets whoever, just one of the people that are still alive. And you have the potential of like attacking people that are already attacking that person or whatever, but that's, you just leave it up to chance. You have people with badges. So badges, and this is something I just learned like a couple of weeks ago, but if you knock people out, like if you have somebody targeted while you while they fall out, like you've seen me do that a bunch of times, I just fail. So if you have somebody targeted when that happens and like you contributed to that, you get a KO, and a KO gets you points. And if you get enough points, you get badges. And badges control how much garbage you dump on people. So it's like you're getting stronger. You get stronger because you knocked out a bunch of people. You get the ability to knock people out more. And that's like the dog-eat-dog world kind of rules. That's how it works. That's how the mafia works. see, I don't know about this. So you want to be getting, when you dump on people, you want to be getting Tetrises, because that's going to be a lot of garbage. You also want to be knocking people out, because that gets you more power. It lets you knock people out easier because you're dumping more garbage on them. You also, what else do you want? Oh, you also have KOs. So KOs and badges, at first they seem kind of the same. And the only reason I'm saying that is because that sounds like something interesting to say about it. Also, that sounds the same to me. It's not exactly the same, but it's very close, is what it sounds like to me. But nevertheless, you can decide to target people based on that. So there might be somebody with a lot of KOs, but they might not have the most badges, and maybe you're changing through the course of the game. There is strategy, believe it or not. It's not just playing Tetris. But I rarely switch. I'll just keep attacking attackers. Because it's like, I don't feel good about just attacking somebody random. And it's like, unless you notice that, like, you're getting swamped, and you're like, oh shit, there's a lot of people attacking me, I better switch to attackers so that I can defend. But I'm already concerned with playing Tetris, goddammit. So, we're doing okay. Oh, jeez. See? Ooh. I was doing okay. I'm gonna lose. No. There's some really good people. Ooh. Wonder what happens when I get 100. Maybe I get an achievement. But that's the way the combat works. Weirdly enough, it's like you're trying to send garbage people's ways. And you can't... I don't even know if there's, like, you can individually target people. I think you're supposed to be able to with, like, your left thumbstick. But only within the category, I think. But that's the strategy to it. So if you can manage that at the same time and just play really fucking good Tetris... 14th place. So I like to think of myself as kind of an endurance player. But that's just a good way of saying I'm good when the chips are slow. So it's like I've gained some some instinct and some Tetris strategy. I know a little bit of lingo because I watched a couple of tournament videos online, which were fucking kind of cool. Like, if you ever feel like, that's one of the cool things about the internet, is like, if you ever thought you were good at anything, just go on YouTube. There is some sweaty, oily, fat dude, but he's been practicing the guitar every day of his life since he was like a teenager. Like, he worked like as a busboy for like 3.5 years in his teenager. So it's like he started when he was 11, and then he started practicing that guitar every day. It's like as soon as he got the money to buy that guitar, he fucking quit. He's like, I'm done. And he's like, I'm gonna practice guitar this is the only thing I love now. This is the only thing in my life. And that motherfucker played that, and he did it for like 25 years. And then you just look up on YouTube and you see him play Flight of the Bumblebee. Flight of the Bumblebee. Everybody knows, well, if you know it, you've heard it. It's like you can't live life and consume media without, if you haven't consumed media, like audio media, visual media, maybe you haven't heard of Flight of the Bumblebee. But it's a classic, like an actual classic music. Classic. So, and you might not even know it by that name, but he plays Flight of the Bumblebee, and the defining feature about Flight of the Flight of the Bumblebee has been used in cartoons. Exactly, it's been used in cartoons for years. So, like that's like in Technicolor. But anyway, and when and here's the general thing. It's like I feel like Mike's probably the only. Well, I don't know if he's the only one watching. Let's see, base. Was it on a base? Are you looking it up? Shit. But I'm not talking like I would normally just talk to Mike, because like I know enough about Mike that I can make better assumptions. I assume there might be other people watching just enjoying me rambling about bullshit, and if you do, cool. I'll not feel alone. And then if Mike knows that he's the only person watching, he can make the decision not to tell me. And I'll just imagine, oh yeah, there's maybe there were like 3 people who stopped by during the whole stream, and maybe somebody stopped and listened for a while. I'm not gonna check the statistics. I'm just gonna imagine that that's true. There's somebody who's like, man, I just want something in the background, and I don't care. And I really like that music in Tetris 99. Anyway, this dude, he's playing Flight of the Bumblebee for Guinness World Record because, and not just once, he's gonna play it like 20 times. Each time he's gonna go up tempo until he is playing Flight of the Bumblebee in like 3 seconds. No, that's way too. That's like superhuman. But it's really fucking quick. It's like 15 seconds. It's like, that's about right. Like he plays Flight of the Bumblebee the entirety. Well, maybe not the entirety, because I don't know how long it actually is. But the refrain, or whatever that he's playing, which is very complex in its in the way it sounds, which is like, it's difficult for normal people to play on a fucking piano. But he's playing this thing and he plays it normal, and then it's like, by the time you get done listening to him play it as fast as he fucking can, you're like, man, I could probably... It's like you listen to back with the first one, and it was like, oh, geez. You have people's watching you wreck some faces. Cool. All right. So... where was I with this? Okay, so by the time he's done playing Flight of the Bumblebee as fast as he can, you listen to him play Flight of the Bumblebee that first time, and it sounds stupid fucking slow. And you're like, I could probably play Flight of the Bumblebee on the guitar. Well, you're wrong. It's just as fast as it was. It's just that he's playing it so goddamn fast because he has such martial control over his tool, over his guitar. And he, that's his life. That's what he does. And maybe he does some other things, but for like 12 hours a day, he practices guitar to be able to do that. And that, so it's like, the original point I was trying to make is like, the internet will show you that there's somebody way fucking better than anything that you have ever done. Which is fine. You're like, all it is like another way to embrace ignorance. Or I guess that's what we used to have. It's like we would embrace the ignorance. It's like, oh yeah, I'm really good at fucking Super Smash Brothers. I beat everybody on my dorm. Well, your dorm shit. Maybe there's some good people. Maybe if you go to Case Western University and you beat everybody on your dorm, you're like, okay. And I only know to say that because I got a Smasher in this house. I think I can survive. No. Fuck! Oh, if I just dumped it faster. Alright. Man of War's bassists play the entire song just on bass. Flight of the Bumblebee. So maybe that's who I'm thinking of. But it was the Guinness Book of World Records nonsense, and he just kept playing it faster and faster and faster, and then he was like, I'm the fastest bassist. But yeah, you get to go online and you just get to watch the people be better than, like, you could go online right now and watch somebody, I forget what it's like Tetris Master whatever, and he plays for 6 hours and he continuously wins because he's so goddamn good at this game. If you want to see some fucking T spinning, if you want to see some T spins, let me rep this guy. You just go on fucking YouTube and search Tetris99. He'll come up, but we're gonna get the name. Tetris99. Is it Wombo Tees? Wombo Ties? Wombo Ties on YouTube. Fucking amazing. It's just like non-stop. It's like you'll watch me and it's just like Flair the Bumblebee guy. Like I'm like, this is like baby speed compared to the people who know what they're doing, who've been doing it for 20 years. So it's like, I'm okay. I'm good. I remember, we had people over once. Well, we've done it a couple of times because we're social people and we have friends. Thank God. There are times in my life where it's just like, oh God, what am I gonna do? I don't know anybody. Well, I know people, but like they don't call me, and it makes me feel like nobody really loves me. Man. Again, we're getting real. Cause well, it's not social anxiety, because that's like getting anxious in a social situation. If I need to turn it on, I can fucking turn it on. Like, I can be Mr. Don Juan. But as far as like creating and maintaining and like, because I'm an introvert, like, and I feel like that's true, but it's also a thing people have just started saying. So when they're like, oh, I don't want to hang out, or I'm lazy, which is also true. But it really does, it really does feel draining, to manage every part of a social lifestyle and feel like it's by myself. Like, I am not getting help on this. It's like, I've got friends, and if I want to do things with them, I have to call them. Like, I think a lot of people feel that way, and because it's true. Like, you are the one initiating things, which is like, and maybe if you are an extrovert, maybe it's okay. Yeah, this is all my own fault. Look at this. I just blocked all my wells. Yeah, I deserve that. That was just dumb. It was built up in the middle. So, but this is a common problem. Like, you can hear me say this right now, and I'm sure everybody's felt this way at some point, or maybe some sort of opposite. It's like, why is everybody always calling me to hang out? Because it's a common human condition, and it's a common human anxiety. But anyway, like, for somebody who's like, who has a fear of rejection in all things, which is not even a big deal. People say no and it's done. Like, and you get over it. It's nothing even to get over. It's just like, what were you doing anyway? It's like, you weren't going to do anything. You ask for the possibility for something to happen. It doesn't. Well, you have lost nothing. But it feels like everything that you've been telling yourself is true. Like, it's not all in your head. You are unlovable, and everybody hates you. And Jesus, I just feel like this has become a therapy session at this point. I'm like, I knew these things about myself. I just didn't think I'd ever like be able to say it so easily on a stream. But I guess like that's what happens when you just need to talk. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like you don't want to confirm in your own head all the lies you tell yourself, because they are lies. You are lying to yourself when it's like everybody deserves to be loved. Maybe not at the standard they believe. It's like we can't. It's dumb. That's a dumb move. I just decided to move my well to like the middle of the fucking screen. Nah, whatever. Okay. But that's the thing you have to teach. It's like you, and it's a thing that like Catholicism tried to warn me about. If you just everything about like porn, or any kind of like lust. Where am I going with this? Because this seems out of nowhere. Let me see if I can explain myself. Healthy relationships. Yes. Okay. Based on trust and communication. Being able to rely on somebody. And then it's like, everybody's like, well, yeah, of course. I mean, that's, of course it's what a relationship is. But they say that, and then it's like, yeah, but also fucking. Fucking's pretty nice. And it's like the rate at which it is like, oh, trust, communication. Of course I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be nice to that person and everything. And oh, it's good. It's so easy. It's not easy. Like, love is a decision that you make. You decide to tolerate a person sometimes. You decide that you're going to love them no matter what. And whatever that means for them. Like, you have to be there for them when they make bad decisions, or leave them to show that, like, because you're part of that cycle of unhealthiness. It's like, me being with you is bad. Realizing that and then making that decision to go away. Like, choosing to live a certain way, to be a certain person for somebody else. And it's like, oh yeah, no, of course, because it's going to be so easy when I find that person. And we think that's true. And then it's coming from somebody who, like, I mean, you fucking, I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, I haven't had a girlfriend in, god damn it. Let's not talk about how long it's been, because it just makes me super depressed. But it was like, I was still in college. And we'd been together for 3 years. And, like, for a long time, I thought that was it. I thought I'd found who I was going to be with. But it wasn't. There were elements of a good relationship. I don't regret anything. But, like, reflecting on it and thinking back on a lot of things, I feel like I came to understand a lot more about myself. How I treat people, the kind of person I was, and I'm not like I kind of, I don't know how much I liked who I was, but at least I was ignorant about it for a long time. And being in a relationship, just it informed me of how intolerable I can be. So it's like, when I talk about relationships and love and things, it's like I'm parroting a lot of what I've heard before. So it's like, but I don't know. But I mean, if I don't talk, then it's just gonna be super boring. It's just gonna be me playing Tetris, and I mean, if that is cool. But that's the thing about relationships, they're hard. It's not going to be easy. And the people who say it's easy, I mean, good, you found it. Life is good for you and easy for you. It's so nice to have somebody in your corner. God damn it. It's nice to look at the Twitch chat and just see positive words, because it's good to keep going. So and not just like romantic relationships, all relationships. And that's why I think a lot of people keep people at arm's length. It's because it's hard to be somebody's good friend. There's a lot that you can get out of it. But again, that's a choice you have to make. You have to choose to love that person in whatever way. This might be a fast one. I'm gonna clean up for a minute and then we're gonna get back to this. Shit. God of Tetris. I don't deserve your love, God of Tetris. Not the way I'm playing for you. I deserve your vengeance. Oh dear. No. Goodbye, everybody. Good night, sweet princess. Alright. So... oh, we might get that achievement? I don't know. So to be a good friend to somebody, that's a choice you have to make, and it's work that you have to put into a relationship, and it doesn't surprise me when it's like you have your family that you don't get to choose. And it could be like, and I was fucking lucky and blessed to have the family that I have. Are you kidding me? The people that I've talked to in my life, the experiences that we've shared, how fucking, okay, just smart, okay, yes, but loving and caring and appropriate, and it just fucking, oh god, it's like I feel bad. Like that's how it would feel sometimes, like when I was in like group therapy. And I'd be like, people would tell me about their family, what they were going through, and what they lived with, and just like they're out of that environment, but they're also like in the college environment, and like they're scared, but they're more scared to go home when break starts. Like college is hard, but like that shit's hard. Like there's bad shit out there, and you don't get to choose that. You're born into that, and I mean that's how it is for everybody. But like I'm one of the lucky ones. And I didn't realize that for a long time, like until my father started having like major issues with depression. Is when I learned it was like, yeah, mom and dad aren't always right. And like most preteens figure that out. It's like, yeah, my parents are dumb sometimes. I like, it's still hard for me to think that my parents would ever make a bad decision. Like, they, like, even if it was a bad decision, it's because they were like, they thought about it and they were ill-informed, or they're just like, my father's been upset sometimes. Like, there have been a few situations where it's like that got away from him. But it's situations where it's like anybody would blow their top, or could just, no. But that's the thing. It's like my mother and my father. They've worked very hard. Hey, 100 points! Congratulations! I got the trophy with everybody's favorite, with the iconic Tetramino, the T-piece. Everybody says the T-piece. It's a tetropathy, trophy. It's a tet trophy. I got a tet trophy. Everybody says the T-piece. Everybody's like, oh yeah, the T-piece. That's a Tetris piece. Because T in Tetris, and it's a Tetramino. Everybody loves the line piece. Line piece is the hero. Are you kidding? Line piece. T-piece has a lot of utility. Line piece gets you Tetris. And no other piece will get you a Tetris. The line piece gets you a Tetris. Not by itself. It's built on the backs, but they are... That's like... That is the face. Like, that's the one everybody wants. Unless it's like... Your well is blocked, and you have nowhere to put it, in which case you're cursing it. So maybe it's because there's a high, like, volatility with that. It's like, I guess out of all the pieces, maybe on average, you're most happy to see the T-piece. Like, this could go anywhere. It's so utilitarian. Put you there. No, so I had a very healthy, well, I think that's fair to say. It's like I had a very healthy family to base a lot of my experiences on, but that did also kind of shelter me to the problems of others. And that's another thing. It's like if you have problems, they're your problems. And just because somebody else is suffering worse than you somewhere doesn't mean that you also aren't suffering. And it doesn't mean that you can't work to correct them, or correct your problems, and focus on them, and worry about it. And in some cases, like, I mean, I'm not going to say disregard the suffering of the world, but do what you can. But seriously, do what you can, and that's about it. And it's like what you can without, like, and there are people, and this is a thing, it's like I've heard stories about like philanthropy, but there are people who do give till it hurts, to the point where it doesn't, like, they don't care, like they'll keep going, but it hurts their family. And then it's like you're not making the choice anymore. You are giving money to people, or you are giving away things or whatever that would go to your family, and you are choosing somebody else instead. And it takes a special kind of person to give that hard, like to have that much compassion, but it's also difficult. It's like you are determining, it's like, oh yes, my children are stronger, or my children have me, which means that it's like or my husband, or my wife, or whatever. I'm with them, I know how they're doing, and if they suffer, like, short-term a little bit, they're gonna be okay. I need to take care of this person now. Or I can't control myself, I need to, like, help these people. That's a special kind of person. I'm not gonna say good or bad. But I'm a strong proponent of, like, you take care of the world, first of all. But that starts with you. There's a good thing on Reddit where it's like, I had a college professor where it's like, listen, you're all here, all of you have like a little I want to save the world in you, and it's okay if that's only one person, and it's okay if that one person is you. Because our world is hard. Like, if you have the resources, if you were lucky enough to get them, and it's like, I'm talking about, there are people who work hard to get where they are. There are people who think they've worked hard to get where they are. And they did, but not in the same way. And they're the people where it was just given to them. And you get all kinds of different people. And if you're one of those people who's lucky enough and realizes, like, you have so much and others have so little, and you want to do something about that, and you do, I mean, God bless you, because you're the person who's able to do it. You're the person who has the disposable income or the resources or whatever to be the people who are taking care of the people. Like, there always needs to be somebody who's doing that. I wish we had more. But then again, maybe that's just my information system. I watch a lot of NPR, and they focus on a lot of the shit that sucks. Not to say that there isn't a lot of shit that sucks, but it just makes you want to tear your hair out sometimes. And so it means, like, okay, well, maybe I just watch some more cat videos, go to the cat cafe in Cleveland. Hey, Cafe Affogato. Affogato? I'm sure that's like a cat pun I'm just not familiar with, but it's Affo, A-F-F-O, Gato. Affogato. Maybe it's like a coffee bean. Shit. Alright. Everybody wave bye. Shit. I didn't mean to do that. Ah. Man. I have some more points. So I got the trophy, but I get more points. Gato in cat is Spanish. Affogato is also a gelato with espresso. Man. Just Baltic. That is a solid pun. I knew gato was cat in Spanish because I took 2 years of Spanish in high school. So, rojo, amarillo, leche, no, pizza, gato, verde, salsa, tortilla, burrito. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Okay, so I knew gato. Roll those R's, babe. Burrito. Burrito. Oh, man. Anyway. Yeah. So that's what I didn't know is the affogato, the espresso gelato dessert, which I don't think they had the gelato, but they did have ice cream, and so that's something that you could get, which I didn't. I got an iced coffee, which they call a snow leopard, because cat puns, because they're all cat people. Is that not clear? But anyway, that's a cat cafe in Cleveland, which is fucking run by the APL, I think. I'll have to double check, but they got a website. Their whole... Like, the whole goal is to get cats adopted. Like, that's what it's there for. It's so people can come socialize, they can generate revenue with a cafe, and you have to pay to go hang out in the cafe, or in the cat area of the cafe. Because, I mean, taking care of 10 cats at any given point and running a shelter isn't cheap, as anybody with a pet might know. But $10 for an hour to play with 10 different cats... I mean, you're not going to find a better deal. Like, if that's what you want to do. Like, and so here's what it's like. It was this guy and his wife. Like, just like your regular, like, middle class got, I mean, it's a Friday. It was like a Friday afternoon, so it's like they must be doing pretty well. They're just kind of, or maybe they were retired. That could be that too. But they had pets, but they like hanging out and just playing with the little animals. Well, it's one animal, it's cats, but different breeds of cats. Most of them up for adoption. So you go to this cat cafe, you pay them $10, you get an hour to hang out with all these cats, and some of them, like most of them are like chill as fuck. There are these two cats. The one, like, I took a nap with. Like, that's how I spent most of my time. It's like I laid down, I picked him up, or her. I think it was a her. And then she just kind of like flopped right down on my lap, and we just sat in a big comfy chair, took a nap. And it's like, you can do that. There was another cat who literally did not move from where they were the entire time I was there. Because being a cafe cat is hard fucking work. Like, they talk about like that's the thing in Japan, is like, you gotta be careful with those cafes, because if you like go to an owl cafe, owls they're nocturnal, first of all. They're also kind of solitary, and as far as I know, and so a cafe environment where people are coming in and out and hanging out with them and want to pet them or scritch them or whatever, it's like, that's good for like maybe 5 minutes if they're like uninterrupted, like for the rest of the time, or they're trained for it. Like, you can train an animal to be prepared for that, but like most of the time they don't give a fuck. It's just like, it's just a revolving door of animals, and it's like they get stressed out, and then it's like, whatever, god damn it. Like, I'm not gonna say they euthanize them because I don't know, but I have heard of that happening. Like, as far as just like pets in Japan, it's sad shit. And it's like, oh yeah, cat cafe, puppy cafe, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, that's what people want to come in, they want to play with kitties. But a cat, again, they're nocturnal, and they sleep most of the day. And so I guess what you do is, like, you just, like with this, their advantages, they have a lot of young cats, so they have a lot of energy. They rotate them a lot. Like, it's a revolving door of cats because they're constantly being adopted. They tell you, it's like, yeah, some cats don't want to play, and if they do, or maybe they're all played out, but it's like, you are in their home, so it's like you are a friend in this home, but it's like they are free to chill. It's like, you don't get to decide, like, oh, this cat, it's like, you gotta treat them nice. They're like people. It's not gonna be, sometimes it's what you expect, but it's like, it's up to their whim. And I mean, that's the advantage of like a dog cafe, because it's a fucking dog. It's gonna go nuts like all the time. Like, they're just gonna be happy to be around you. Which we don't have because we don't need it, because dogs get adopted and taken care of. At least that's the way I choose to believe. As far as cats go, they need a little help. TP's pretty happy to see you. Oh dear. Get in there. Get in there. Alright. Oh, it was number 10. Nice. What's the thing? It's like, you don't get to go in there and choose who you're going to play with and how you're going to do it. It's like the cat chooses you, man. And you just get to be in that environment. And it's a privilege. As long as you see it that way, you're gonna have a good time. But anyway, I took a nat with 9th place or 10. Yeah, I think I almost got. I think it was almost. Yeah. But you hang out with these cats, and it's like, yeah, some of them are like up and about, and they're messing around, and they want to play, and you go play with those ones, and it's really easy to do. Other ones like to be left the fuck alone. And they'll tell you. They have a color-coded system. If the cat has a red stripe by their name on the wall, and all the cats have their picture on the wall, that means pet me at your risk, because I give no fucks. And for me, who lived with and visits with my mother's cat, and it is my mother's cat because that's who he sits with most of the time and loves the most. He loves my dad too, but my dad doesn't love him. Well, he doesn't say he loves him. But he takes care of him. Like, more than my mom. Like, he hangs out with my mom, who's sit on my mom's lap. His name is Oliver. He's a tabby. And maybe it's the breed, but he's a fucker. Like, that's the best way to describe it. He's a grade A fucker. He's also stupid as shit. Now, like, when I say that, I mean to say it's like he never learned how to not get sprayed by a skunk, because he keeps getting sprayed by skunks, and he keeps learning, oh, maybe I should stay away from that thing that sprays me, and then mom and dad like yell at me, and then I have to take a hydrogen peroxide bath, and that fucks my hair and skin up, and I hate it. So maybe I shouldn't mess with that thing, but then he goes and messes with that thing, the skunk, and so if I could, like, that's my reasoning for calling him an idiot. I think that's fair. But he has a tendency to bite as well. And so I am not unfamiliar with what they call sassy cats. No, that was a miss. Ugh. Sassy cats. So cats that, like, you can pet them a little bit and then they get fed up with you and then they hit you or bite you because they're like, hey, don't do that, I'm trying to sleep. And yeah, I went over and I petted them a little bit, and they were fine. But I didn't pick them up. I didn't fuck with them. I just petted them a little bit because I wanted to pet all the cats. Pet all the cats. But yeah, I played with the ones that wanted to be played with. I slept with the ones that wanted to be slept with. Napped with. Some of them are cuddly. Some of them just want to play. And it's funny, like, some of them, like, they want to play, but they want to play with a toy. Like, they want a toy is what they want to play with. And they're okay if, like, you're the one animating it, but, like, they don't want pets. They want play. And if you give them your hand, like, to pet them, they're like, oh, it's playtime. I'm going to play with this. I don't think there were any there like that today. But there are ones like that. So it's like, it's fun. It's like a fun, playful cat, but, like, not petting. And then the reverse. It's like, I don't want to play. I want to nap. We're going to nap. And there are some that's like, I want to play, and then I want to nap. And there's some that's like, what are you about? I don't care. Excuse me. I had chicken and steak. Teriyaki. For dinner. That's the sound I make when I do something stupid. We're not pulling this one out. Nope. Oh, man. Ugh. Okay, so Cafe Affogato. There might be an R in that, but probably not. In Cleveland, in Ohio City, near Tremont. Well, it is Tremont, I think. Fucking awesome. Like, it opened in January, and, like, I meant to go there after they opened because it's like a fucking cat cafe. I thought they only have those in Japan. Well, now they have one here in Cleveland. And I went there and it was fun. And so if like I have friends here, or if somebody's like, hey, what do you want to do today? Cat cafe is on the table, man. That's what we should do the next time Mount comes over here. I'll take him to the cat cafe. And you can get emotional. So now what? Okay, so I think I was talking about, like, everybody's got issues. And that's okay. That's what I call getting dunked on. That's what I call, like, you know Froggy Fresh? You know their song, Big Game, or whatever the hell it's called? And they ask the question, why is James crying? It's because he got dunked on. And I got dunked on. So it's like, that's how good you can be at the game, where you can just, like, I had like a couple pieces and then they just like, oh, nope, it's done. All right, so you make the choice, like you make the choice. It's like, I want this person to be my friend, and then they make the choice. It's like, okay, well, you're cool, but it's like, I don't want to make that choice to be close because maybe I have enough friends, or maybe I'm devoting myself to my family, or for whatever reason. And it's like, the assumption might be, it's like, oh, it's just like friends. It's like hanging out, doing stuff together. But that's a big deal. Like, to take time from somebody, and that's another way. It's like, some people think of it that way. It's like, I'm giving time, I'm giving my time that I could be spending like how I want to be with somebody. And if I don't think that's efficient use of time, I'm not going to make that decision. I'm going to make the opposite of the decision. I'm going to say no. And like, you can feel about that however way you want. But those are decisions that people are allowed to make. And of course it's easier when you're a kid, because the environments that you frequent usually have the same people in them. And so it's easy to be friends with people because you see them every day. You don't really have a choice. So you can just do it. But as an adult, you get to choose where you're going to be, other than like work, and even that is kind of a choice. You can decide where you're going to be. If you have that kind of like financial freedom, Pio kind of make that choice. It's like, I don't like where I'm working. I don't like the environment. I don't want to work for them. I have another job lined up. I'm not going to work for whoever anymore. I have enough skills to decide that I'm going to work in this environment that I find a lot better for me. And good, if you can make that decision, you get to choose where you get to go. And that's cool too. But then again, it's like, and you also get to choose who your friends are. But now that opens up the thing where it's like, am I going to go somewhere I don't want to go to make friends that I might enjoy being friends with? Like a bar? Like, am I going to go to a bar to meet people if that means I don't like drinking? A lot of people say no to that, which, I mean, that's fine. But now you're in a situation where it's like, I'm lonely. I want to make friends. And so that's why a lot of people say, oh, you got to get a hobby. You got to do something that you like. You got to join, you got to join like a league. Like people that play volleyball. They just pick up volleyball games. Or like a women's... That's what my sister-in-law does. I don't know if she still does it. She probably doesn't have fucking time to. She's got 2 kids. But maybe she does. Maybe it's infrequent enough and she gets to go play volleyball with her friends, and my brother can look after the kids because they're a team. And so that's hard. It's like making these decisions, saying it's like, okay, I'm gonna go here for the possibility of meeting people, because, but if you're somebody who, like, that's hard to do because it's like, I don't want to fucking go out. I want to stay home. Which is why the internet, again, the internet's so great, because it's like, you can just meet people. You go to any game. You go VR chat. You play any MMO. And you already have something in common with those people. You're playing a game. And you're also people on the internet, and you also share time zones, and you probably share languages. And so you have this potential to meet people, but it's online. So that's different. That's different from an in-person social interaction. And I think there are some ways where, like, maybe you can get similarities, but, like, that's never going to be the same. Like, if I can go and I can be in my underwear and not have to live with the consequences of that while I'm talking to people, like, that's not the same as a social situation. It will never be. And I envy the people that, like, live their life that way. I mean, like, meeting people online and then having meaningful relationships with them, where they never see their face. Or maybe they do see their face, like, occasionally, but that's not how their default is. I fucking envy you. Because I don't feel close to people that way. I need to see them. To a degree. I think I get used to it. But there's also something about, and it's like, I realize this about myself. I don't like talking on the phone, not because I don't enjoy talking to people, because I do. Like, clearly. Here I am. Oh, it's Sequoia. Hi, Sequoia. Sequoia is in Denver, at a Comic-Con. A Comic-Con, not the Comic-Con. And she's repping her brand. Her brand, Vagabond Comics from Cleveland. It's a anthology series. They just came out with their 10th in the series. Please correct me. It was successfully kickstarted. It is a full color anthology, available now or really, really soon in stores near you, in Cleveland and maybe outside. Like right now, Denver at the con. Go to her table, or booth, or whatever they have, because I'm not, I did not inquire, and I did not, okay, all honesty, I didn't know that it would be my responsibility to rep Vagabond Comics at this very moment, so I'm not as prepared as I would like to be the brand rep, but check them out. They got digital versions available of all of their comics. Maybe. Here's the thing. Sequoia's in the YouTube chat, and there are other people in the Twitch chat. So, whatever she puts in the YouTube chat, I'm gonna repeat live for everybody to hear. And maybe she's just being nice and tuning in to say hi, because she's a nice, good person. And we're lucky to be neighbors. Vagabond Comics issue 10, Kindred. Okay, I got it right. Issue 10, Kindred, is the theme. Okay, Kindred is the theme. Every anthology has a theme. Every 3 months, I want to say. Or that they try to. I think it's every 3 months they try and release an anthology with a theme. And that submission starts, and the people who know, they spread it out, but anybody can submit. You don't have to be from Cleveland. A lot of the artists are, because that's where we live, and that's who we know, and that's the connections. But you can be anybody from anywhere, and you can submit a comic. It can be a page. It could be a couple pages. But if it tangentially relates to the theme, this one being Kindred, it's like I could talk about my experiences with, oh god, it could be anything. It could be family. It could be, it could be your academic challenge team in high school, where you bonded over pop culture trivia. Whatever story that you want to tell that relates to that Kindred theme, that would be applicable. And even if it doesn't, I think they make exceptions if you're really fucking good. Because, I mean, anything can relate to anything. I mean, if you try hard enough. So, you submit your comic, and they take a look at it, and they edit it if it needs editing. But I think they're pretty free as far as censorship goes. Then again, the population that they request from is not known for explicit. I think that's a good way to put it. I mean, it's usually stories from life, or life inspired. But hey, here's what you do. Go buy a couple of copies, either online or mail order or whatever you want. You read a few. One of my favorites is, I think it's Summer Spooks. I think it was like it was the first one I read, I think. But yeah, that's fucking, any of the ones where it's like scary stories. But I think it's Summer Spooks is the one that I liked. There's one, the one I remember is that a kid sells his soul for ice cream. It's called Ice Cream. That was a short one, but it was funny. I'm losing this one. Oh man, it's like I was trying to lose. So yeah, you go buy that and check that out. Support local artists, and tell us what you think, because there's nothing like it, honestly. Nothing that I've ever seen anything like it before. And I wouldn't say I'm an authority or anything, but I'm interested in the arts. I know a thing or two about comic books. I show some vague interest. I know that there are certain artists, like the ones that wrote or illustrated or both. Like the guy who wrote and illustrated Preacher fucking hates superheroes, and then he wrote a series. They made him write a series about superheroes, but they did the kind of thing where it's like, you have to write a series about superheroes, but you, like, no censorship, you do whatever you want. And he's like, I'm gonna write a story about superheroes that, like, fucking like recruit a Bible thumping, not Bible thumping, here's all you need to know about this comic book series. So they have like the Justice League. It's like a pseudo Justice League, and then one of their members dies, like horribly, I think, and they need to replace him or her. I forget exactly how it worked out, but they need to replace them. And so instead of like actually replacing them with somebody capable, they decide that they're going to recruit this this like 19-year-old super person, and she is a superhero. She has superpowers. I think it's based on like light, but she's not very like, she's not Justice League strong. Like that, she's not that capable. The reason they recruit her is so they can fuck with her, and fuck her. Yeah. Kind of a commentary on the whole abuse of power. But yeah, that's, and it's not good. Like it's kind of universally like panned, not universally. And you know what? The only reason I know about it is because I read about it on 4chan. Because that's what 4chan is good for to me. I get off topic, like I get a lot of detail about something off topic without having to invest all of my goddamn time actually ingesting the media. And this is a point of contention with me and the star of the Courtesy Flush streams, Mr. Crowwind. How I'll just read a Wikipedia article and be like, I'm good. Yeah, I know. I watched most of Game of Thrones, but I just stopped when they killed that one person. which means anything. It's like, I don't want to spoil it, but fucking I want to spoil who died. Everybody died. That's kind of the problem. Not everybody, but most of them. Maybe not even most. Hey, welcome to the Courtesy Flush, where I keep... Sometimes I have good games, sometimes I have bad. Sometimes I just don't go fast enough, and so I place 55. Not saying it's related, but... Okay, good. Get me off topic, because we need something else. I'm struggling now. Oh wait, 4chan. Oh, I didn't read the comment. I don't know why when he said 4chan, my heartburn returned. Not saying it's related, but well, it's like, you just know it's like so that's the thing. It's like saying the word 4chan is like hearing the click when you step on a landmine. You don't know if it's the kind that's going to explode right away, or if it's the kind where you have to lift your foot up and then it jettisons an explosive. You don't know. You're getting onto dangerous territory. Man, I just like knowing. I like knowing what's. I like feeling plugged into any community. Might be a good way to put it. Like, let's just find out what everybody's yelling about right now. Oh, that's it. Okay. I'm gonna play Persona 5 instead of doing this now. Or it's like I've read everything on Reddit. Not everything, but everything worth reading, which is like 100 pages from the top down. And not even reading it, just like looking at it. It's like, oh. Cat. Dog. Trump said this. Gamers Rise Up meme post. A lot of memes. Oh, jeez. There's been a resurgence lately with the teaser trailer for the new Joker movie being released. I don't know why I bother. I've been streaming for a few hours, so it's understandable. Man, has it been a few hours, really? Time just flies by. I feel like I could keep going for a while. Let's see. There's everybody was free. Okay, so here's the thing. That black hole, the picture of the black hole, or not even like, it is a picture of a black hole, but it is a image reconstructed from radio signals, which, like, depends on what your what definition of visual you're working with. A lot of people would say it's pedantic, but we got this picture of a black hole, and everybody's, I mean, understandably so. It's fucking exciting for the scientific community. Like, and that's the thing. You know what? Now I'm saying it now, and because I'm just kind of realizing it. Every once in a while, some theory, because that's what it was. Black holes were like it was a theory of relativity and how the shit would work in astrophysics and nonsense. Not nonsense, because it's right. But all this high-level stuff that inspires science fiction and it formed a generation and is taught about, and then it's like, oh yeah, but we don't have an actual picture of it. Like, it is a theory, and it's like we've seen the data that suggests and kind of confirms. It's like, yeah, this is real. But for your layperson, they're like, oh, evolution is just a theory. And that's the same thing with like Higgs boson, where it's just like, hey everybody, we were fucking right the whole time, and we knew it, but now you have to acknowledge that we know it again. We proved it. That was two people at the same time that got knocked out. So that's exciting, because it's like, I'm not gonna, like, because they're celebrating this fantastic achievement of generating an image of a real life goddamn gigantic black hole, which also, like, the black part of that black hole could engulf the entirety of our solar system, and like, so that's our solar system, which, I mean, we're still debating how far it goes out. Here's something else for you. Okay, Voyager, that craft that we loaded up with pictures of naked white people and sent out into God knows where, just as far as it can go. We sent that shit out, and that's been traveling ever since, I don't know the date. I don't know how far it's been going, but it is eclipsed, like, where we know. I'm just kind of sad at myself for that one. If you used the distance Voyager is away from our sun as the radius, so outside our solar system and a couple, I don't know, a big distance, if that was the radius, you still wouldn't make a circle big enough to get out of the blackness of that hole. That's how big that goddamn black hole is. It's kind of frightening to think that something at such a large scale can be not only imagined, like theorized to exist before anybody had any idea, but based on math, and then like written about and discussed, and then was a giant part of a movie's plot, several movies' plots, and so that's real, like undeniably, like without fail, and not in a roundabout sense of like, oh, the data suggests, or oh, it's like things are moving this way, and general relativity and Einstein, and no, here's a picture. Here's a goddamn picture of this black hole, and it's as simple as that. Nothing more. And every once in a while, the scientific community gets this opportunity to just shove it in people's faces in a very happy way. But I do think that's the truth of it. It's like, everybody look, we were like as right as we will ever, like, as a human race, as true and as real as we can get. The assumptions that we've been working with, the ideas that we have created, the shoulders of giants that we stand on. It was real, and I guess that's why everybody was excited about it. I mean, it's a reasonable thing to be excited about. I just, for like, it's still everywhere. Everybody's talking about it, because it's ubiquitous now. That's going to be in textbooks for the rest of our lives until we get a better picture. And just imagine, it's like we've only been taking pictures for like 100 years, and now we have a picture of a black hole. I mean, that's the news. That is what is happening in our world. Like, that's what people are going to remember this day in history. I'm not going to remember how Trump threatened to just flood cities with illegal immigrants because they didn't toe the line. Rightly so. They're not going to remember that 100 years from now. They're going to remember that black hole. That's what's going to stick around. And I mean, if somebody wanted to look up Trump's Twitter, I don't know why they would. Maybe it'll be an assignment, and it's like everybody, like it'll be like everybody in 5th grade. You'll have to go on Twitter's database, look through, just scrub through President Trump's tweets and try to find the dumbest thing he ever said. And that'll be a school assignment. So everybody remembers. I was so close to a comeback. So everybody remembers what a fucking nut job our president is. And we can learn about social media. Oh, okay, so here's an interesting thing about Affogato. Apparently, getting people to adopt black cats is still difficult for 2 reasons, 2 big reasons. One, the superstition of bad luck. That's still real. So that's the first thing. People are still superstitious of cats. The modern day reason why there's more difficulty adopting black and dark colored cats is because they don't photograph well. Can you believe it? Because a light colored cat, it's easier to take their picture and get a cute picture of your cat as opposed to a black cat who it's like their eyes disappear in their face, and it's like, oh, everybody on social media, look at my cat, and everybody's like, what cat? People will decide not to adopt a black cat because they like taking pictures of their pets, and it's hard to do that with a black cat. And you can take good pictures of black cats because, I mean, I've seen some good pictures of black cats. That's a thing, but your layperson with an iPhone, not as good. And so that's kind of sad, but at the same time, it's like, I've always thought, like, if I was going to get a cat, it was going to be a black cat. I wanted a black cat. I wanted a pure black cat with green eyes. Cause they're fucking cool. Like, that's a cool cat. Cause I had a calico when I was a kid, and then now we got this tabby. And now if I was going to get a cat, it'd be a black cat, which is as black as I could get, or maybe a tuxedo cat, because they're cute. All cats are cute. But, like, that's a choice I would make. So it's like, that surprises me, because me living in my head imagines, like, oh, yeah, a lot of people want black cats. And I bet a lot of people do. It's just that most people adopting cats want one they can take pictures of. And it's like a shallow reason. I get it. Like, it feels like that shouldn't be a good enough reason, but that's what happens when we live in a society no, it's funny because it's the kind of thing where it's like, that doesn't seem like a very good reason at all. But just by the nature of how things work, if we don't realize it, it just gets away from us. see if I lose. Not today. Doing okay. So cleared up the well. Who'd I KO? See, I have no idea what's going on. I'm trying to win now. Or do well anyway. Not die. So, alright, so what now? I'm surviving. Not necessarily thriving, but I'm doing okay. I've done a good job of talking for most of the stream. And now I'm falling off a bit. And lay down, I'll keep the stream up. Yeah, no, sleep well. Sweet chariot. Swing well. Rest. But yeah, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna go. You know what? Until I get top 10 again, I want at least another top 10. And it might be this one, if I can make it this one. But we're gonna get top 10. Not with moves like that, we're not, but we're gonna try. I wanted the Tetris. I wanted the Tetris real bad. And if I get that top 10, that's when I'll stop. Because that'll be a good way to end. And until then, I'm going to keep going. Just remember to hit outro. Yeah, how long have I been doing this? I'll hit outro. I could do more for the stream. I've been a constant guest. I feel like that's a mainstay, if you will. But as far as actual content creation, other than the live stream and just being there, I'm being fairly consistent. I think that's fair. I'm a part of it, but not. I'm not involved in. Well, I'm not intimately involved in the behind the scenes. Oh, jeez. That hurt. That hurt how bad I am. I'm making dumb decisions. So when it branches out like that, it means we're being attacked by a lot of people. Shit. Fucking... I should be winning. Yeah, good. Okay. I just managed to outlast. Okay, number 10. Hey, there we go. No one else is involved behind the scenes besides you and Captain Cleveland. You're one of the mainstays, man. I am one of the mainstays. So it's like I appear often. And it's like, if left alone, I probably could set up the stream by myself. I'd probably have to text you for the passwords. But it's like nobody knows how to do all the troubleshooting stuff from the interaction of things. It's pretty good. I was close to make, but I deserve to be knocked out. That's how I feel. I feel like I deserve to be knocked out of that game because I wasn't playing as well as I could have. And by the time everybody was getting knocked out, probably wasn't me, it was probably other people doing a better job. And I just ended up lasting. Yeah, so the technology itself, like a lot of the stuff is just plug it in, but then it doesn't work. So it's like, we'll go to couch cam. So you need to troubleshoot problems, and looks like my download isn't going anymore. This is what you get for a little cancel download. Download will be canceled, and then software has been canceled, and then I close Tetris 99 download. Okay, this is the reward the bonus that you get for downloading data. There we go. Okay, that's you get the Nintendo Entertainment System package when you join up with their online game thing. Downloading software during stream, you're a brave man. It should only be, it's not even like a gig. Like NES games are small. Like they're super duper small. So, and then like the emulator is probably bigger than all of the games that are downloaded to do whatever. So I figured I might as well do that. But maybe I'll check in. I'll check in and see if there's anything fun. Maybe a little bit of... You know what? That's what we'll do. We'll clear our palette with some Dr. Mario, and then we'll say goodnight. So, yeah, like, bullshit stuff happens. It's like the camera stops working. And so it's like you have to unplug it, but you have to unplug it from the certain thing, which also needs to be restarted. But you have to restart it before you unplug it, because it's stupid. Things are dumb sometimes. And that's just the way it is. So, and you get that from experience. You experience all the dumb shit, and then, actually, you know what? I think the game's download. There's something new to play. Kid Icarus, Kirby Adventure, Star Tropics, The Adventures of Link, Super Mario: The Lost Levels, Star Soldier, Punch Out, Kid Icarus Special. The special editions are like God Mode or something. Dr. Mario X. You just have classic Dr. Mario. Because what I want to hear, Zelda 2 is hard. Yeah, it is. I watched some people play some Zelda 2. There it is, Dr. Mario. There we go. Yeah, I want to hear that good shit. Let me hear that good shit. Yeah, we're gonna hit fever, chill. Start virus level 10 and a medium speed fever. Bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Dun 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 dun. Oh, fuck myself already. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Or the chills. I'm a much better Tetris player than I am Dr. Mario. It's a similar skill set, but I'm entirely unpracticed. Yeah, I don't know what you do. It's terminal. Let's go. I can do it. I can get it. I just have to... Alright, I'm gonna focus. Shit. Just as long as you have fever or the chills. Turn your head and cough. Okay, now do me. Oh yes, that was a fart. I'm not gonna be ashamed. That's just what happens when you... I should be, but I'm not gonna be. Whatever, you try playing Dr. Mario for... I'm losing it. Oh, jeez, that was close to being cool. I'm making bad decisions, I think. Oh, jeez. Maybe medium speed is too fast for this guy. Alright. We'll do baby. Do baby. Yellow pills aren't going to cure the disease, Mario. God, what the fuck? Are you kidding? Mario! Is everybody seeing this right now? God damn it. That was a fuck ton of yellow pills. They're all dead, Mario. You got them. We move on to something else now. That can't be... I'm glad we have that recorded, because I don't know if that's a real thing. That happens? Bum, bum. Bum, bum. tickle all your ills, just as long as you have fever or the chills. If you're wondering, I'm singing, well, I'm singing a part of, the part that I remember of Brental Floss's, Dr. Mario with lyrics. There we go. So if you're just joining us, I was playing Tetris 99 for several hours, and I was going to stop the stream, but I was like, I don't want to stop yet. I still have, I don't have anything to say, but I just wanted to keep playing the game. And so what I could have done is, like, I could have plugged in Persona 5, because I should return that game. I'm gonna lose my, like, I'll get a bunch of steam and play a game, and I'll get to a certain point, and it's like, oh yeah, I'll play that game, but I didn't finish. And there's a lot more Persona 5 that I've yet to accomplish. And in fact, I've resigned myself to just playing it twice, because apparently, like, that's how you do it. You get New Game Plus. And, like, apparently it's like Dark Souls, where it's like, oh, no, you haven't even played Dark Souls until you play New Game Plus. Which I haven't done with any Dark Souls. Which I could. I played New Game Plus on Dark Souls 1. But I didn't. But, anywho. Yeah, because the content in that game is, it's like you gotta... And I'm sure, like, if you knew what you were doing, that's the thing, you'd have to know what you were doing. There's no way to just go into that game blind without, like, using walkthrough and figuring out exactly what you're supposed to do at any given point in any given day. Because to do the game, it's like, not only do you have to do things at certain times, and here's the thing that I want to give them credit for. It's way more low stress than other Persona games I have absolutely heard. Like, it used to, like, because I've played a little bit of Persona 3. I haven't even touched Persona 4. But, from what I understand, and so from what I've played of Persona 3, it was just very unforgiving. It was like, if you don't make the choices, like the right choices, like I didn't do my homework 5 nights and got my intelligence stat on, so I don't know that cats eat. So I can't buy cat food, because it's like, why would I buy cat food? Even though I see that fucking cat in the alleyway, it's like, I want to feed that cat. I can decide that, but my character is too dumb, because he stayed up all night fighting demons, or something, instead of doing his homework like a good schoolboy. But in Persona 5, here's what they let you do. If you spend your first game just improving your stats, so your guts, your charm, your kindness, your intelligence, if you spend your time doing that, and there's a lot of things that you can do just to improve that, just to grind that stat up, then when you do New Game Plus, you keep all that progress. But what doesn't happen in New Game Plus is you don't get to keep your connections, unless, and I learned this, it's like you get to keep the connections that you make with not that you don't get to keep them. Nobody gets to keep their connections. You have to make them again. But if in the previous game, your first playthrough, you max out that connection, make the maximum connection, then they give you an item that you carry with you over into the next game, the New Game Plus, and then they let you, it lets you level up that connection way faster in the New Game Plus. And so you can focus on the connections you didn't make, but you gotta play the game twice. It's like, at least. So it's like, that's the first, it's like, I think that's what everybody had in mind. It's like, they wanted everybody to play this game, no pressure, and have fun doing it, and they did a really good job. but to see all the content, I don't even know. It's like, I don't even think you can see all the content because you have to make different decisions. Because Persona isn't just a game. It's not just an RPG. It's also a dating simulator. It's also a high school life simulator. It's also a slice of life. It's an anime. It's fucking weird. So, that's what I've resigned myself to. I'm gonna play the game. I'm gonna do my best to level up my my stats, and then I'm gonna play it again. And I had it on hard mode because it was like, because I played hard mode and I played easy mode, not easy, normal. And I was like, normal is pretty easy. Like you can just chop yourself away. Hard is where you have to really fucking think about what you're doing, and everything matters. Like you have to think about the items, you have to think about how long you're spending, you have to think about how you're approaching different situations. So you have to actually really think strategy. Whereas in normal mode, it kind of holds your hand. About as much as a game would. It's level 3. But it's a long fucking game. It's like at least 100 hours. I mean, I guess for an RPG, that might even be considered not very long. But that's long for me. It's like a job, like a part-time job. You don't want to do that. So here's the other thing I don't like about, well, the dynamics of a friendship met on the internet. So apart from how my parents instilled on me, it's like everybody on the internet is trying to steal money from you, or worse, especially if you're a child. So it's like, that's where I grew up. Like, I grew up in the age of the internet where it's like, you be fucking careful when you're online. Don't tell anybody, like, who you are, how old you are, where you live. Which is like the normal line of communication when you meet somebody. But apparently, like, that's where, you know what, I don't know how overblown or accurate child predation on the internet is. But it's real. I know that for fucking sure. So yeah, you gotta be safe when you're on the internet. But I feel like that's relaxed a little bit. But like, I grew up in that time where it's like, yeah, you better be careful. Because if you're not, you know what else is a thing? It's like we didn't have a word for it, and I don't know how much it was real. Well, it's like, of course it was real. Of course it existed. Cyberbullying. Because I distinctly remember one time I was cyberbullied. And it was over AOL Instant Messenger. It was just me and a kid from another school who, I think I stepped on him when we were playing basketball, and so he had a big chip on his shoulder. Which is a shame, because apparently he's a pretty cool guy. Like, people like this dude, but he was acting all the shit. But he decided that we had beef. So he's just being a little dick. And just talking shit. Which I thought was funny. So he threatened, like, fucking, like the internet shit. It's like, I'll fucking find your family and kill you. Kill your family. And it's like, you don't fucking know where I live, but I know where you live, kind of bullshit. And it ended at that, because I think we both scared each other. Probably not. Probably I was the only one who was really scared. Nothing came of it. Which, I mean, good. But, so, you meet people online, and here's the thing, it's like, I know other people that experience this, but it's like, lonely men and lonely women, but a lonely man is very different from a lonely woman, and so, they'll meet, and then, they'll converse, and it'll feel deep and meaningful, because of course it does, and then, there's no, what's the word I'm looking for? Accountability. So if somebody just wants to leave, they can. I mean, and some might say, well, Michael, that's the appeal. That's why it's good. Because if you don't fucking like somebody, you don't ever have to talk to them again. Like, how much would you like to have that in real life? And it's like, I don't want you in my life, button. And you never have to see that person again. Like, you don't even have to change your life. You just do what you do. Everything that you do stays the same. That person isn't in your life anymore. And there's something appealing about that, but it's shitty when it happens to you. It feels bad. And I think that's the thing, it's like people forget that that's something that can happen when you spend a lot of time with somebody, talking to them online. You forget that's how fragile that line of communication is. And if they decide that they don't want to talk to you anymore, well, that's it. There's nothing that you can do. I mean, it's like, I'm thinking about this in the real world. It's like, yeah, you can decide never to talk to somebody, but usually they'd feel like they would need to say something. Like they'd have to explain themselves. Maybe. I'm just thinking about how I'm going to do this. So, yeah, you get ghosted. And I mean, it can happen in real life, and it does. Not saying that doesn't, but that's the thing. It's like you're trying to find somebody, and you're trying to share with them on a personal level, and you do. And the funny thing is, I'm not even talking from personal experience. I haven't, because I don't believe in that kind of relationship. Like, that's, I think that's kind of the point I'm trying to make is, like, I'm not going to be playing CSGO and then find somebody and start talking to them and then create a long and meaningful relationship with them, for the rest of my life. And then they come to my wedding. That's not going to happen. I don't believe that can happen. Not for me. It can happen for some. I believe, absolutely, I believe, because I know people. It's happened for them. But I don't believe it's going to happen for me. I just can't. but and then it hurts me when it's like I see people that are trying or think that that is what's going to happen, and then it doesn't, because of course it doesn't. And I mean, what do I do? It's like the only thing I can say, I can't say anything. It's like they're like, yeah, no, they stopped talking to me. It's like, well, I know it was meaningful for you. I know it was meaningful for you. And maybe it was meaningful for them, but if it was, and that's the thing, it's like you're left with that. It's like, was it? Because I thought there was something there. Anything. But then you feel like you get shat on, and that's really hard, and then it keeps happening, because you think, oh, maybe this time it'll work. I'll connect with this person. Because writing and talking and being and seeing are all very different things. And so, like, if your only line of communication with somebody is through chatting, you're a completely different person if you were to meet them in person. The way you talk and how you conduct a conversation, how you look, how you smell, like how you are. And so if you all make the decision, like, this is the way that we're going to interact with one another, then there's some consistency in the person. But yeah, depending on the interactions that you have with a person, you might as well be different people. And then how do you actually get to know a person? How do you ever interact with somebody in any other way? And I'm sure there's been lots of stories written about this. In fact, there's a video game about internet relationships. It's like an internet vignette. I haven't played it. I saw somebody play it. It looked okay. This is one of those art games. Oh man, we're gonna go until I die. I'm gonna die, and that's it. Permadeath. Dr. Mario permadeath run. Either the virus dies or I die. How do you like that? How do you like a doctor who's like, I'm gonna fucking cure you and you're gonna live, or I'm going to die. I stake my life on your cure. We're gonna beat this fucking cancer together. But if I don't, I'm gonna die with you. That'd be kind of shitty. It's like you could probably save somebody else if you didn't die. But then at least you know you'd be taking it seriously. Special appearance by Captain Cleveland. How much? How you doing? Slept? Yeah. Oh man. Like, just woke up kind of weird, or like, oh okay. Alright. Doc Mario. No, I just wanted to keep going. Yeah, I was playing Tetris 99. I was doing okay. But I said it's like I'll stop Tetris 99 if I get top 10, and I got place 10 on that game. And I was like, alright. But it's like I could have stopped, and I almost did, but then I was like, man, Dr. Mario. Oh, really?
They have to do it.
Okay.
And that game
Have you played any Sekiro? Okay. Yeah. I've seen a little bit, and it looks. Oh, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
Oh, I
And
can't.
you know, like I was watching.
Yeah.
The first week it came out, it was everybody's like, oh, it's Dark Souls, it's Dark Souls, it's Dark Souls. Why isn't this game like Dark Souls? Why is this game like Dark Souls? Like, why is everybody comparing this to Dark Souls? So I was watching Patrick and I'm like, you know what this looks like? It looks like Tenchu. You ever play Tenchu?
No, actually.
And I'm like, man, this game looks a lot like Tenchu. Like, that's some old school PS2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Patrick's like, well, yeah, from the Tenchu. And I was like, really?
What?
And I was like, did they?
Huh.
And I looked it up and from made Tenchu. And
Oh.
And I'm like, well, that makes total sense.
Okay.
The Dark Souls game.
Yeah. Tenchu.
So that was, I don't know, that's surprising.
Yeah, no, it's just like, oh, wow, they made both. All right.
I kept seeing fucking Kotaku articles. Why is this like Dark Souls? Rock, paper, shotgun articles. Why is this not like Dark Souls?
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Right? They have other games.
Yeah.
They made Armored, like, if it was a mech game,
Yeah.
but made with that engine, it'd be like, why this mech game is like Dark Souls? But no, you fucking made Armored Core. Just if you played it during your PS2 era, it was yeah, I'm waiting to play that one. Actually, we're gonna start,
Oh.
like the Kingdom Hearts collection.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna go through all the Kingdom Hearts.
Oh. Man.
Because when I was in high school, I was really hardcore about it.
Mm-hmm.
About it because how long has it been?
When 3 started to come out, some people started releasing like the story so far, and I watched. I think I watched 2 of them. I watched the satire that Donkey made, and then I watched a real one that was like an hour long. And Donkey really likes Kingdom Hearts 2, so I'm watching him do like this thing, and it's like some of the things that he's talking about is like, oh, I know that's not real, but then it gets to certain points where it's like, wait, I kind of remember that. Is that something that actually happened? Like, that's a character, and this is batshit, and it's dumb. But it's like he did go back in time, and that is somebody, but not the same somebody because they're a nobody. And then this person has the same name, but they're not the same person because they're from a different dimension. And I was like, he's not joking about that though, like that. And then I watched the other one, and it's like, no, that was, yes, it's such a simple concept. Let's put Final Fantasy and Disney together. Came up into, yeah. Oh, jeez. I have 8 belts. None of them function. Yeah, you lay it down. Oh. Because he was with me for most of it, and then he's... I know that feel. That feel when... I'm about at that point, actually. Oh, I went to that cat cafe. Did I tell you about that? Yeah. Yeah, it's been open since January. Yeah. So next time Emily's here, you should take her to it. It's it's super cool. It's like you gotta make a reservation, and it's like $10 to go hang out with the cats. But it's like $10 a person. I don't know if it's $10 a person or whatever. You'll find out. But it's super worth it. So it's cool. I won't even tell you more about it because you'll go see it. Yeah.
But is it like a cafe, a restaurant?
The one half is a cafe, and the other part is like a living room with all the cat toys and all the cats. And I think you can have drinks there, if you want. But I think what they encourage you is like if you come in early, get a drink, chill out, or stay after in the cafe, because the cafe is the cafe. There are no cats there. And then there's the living room, and where all the cats hang out, and then it's closed off so that like they can't get out. You be real careful when you go in and all that. And you just hang out with cats, man. Yeah. And it's run by, I think it's run by the same people that run the shelter. So they're very like, they're not, this is a cafe and we have cats for your entertainment. This is a cafe where you might be able to hang out with a cat if the cat likes you enough. And there's a lot of cats. They make sure that there's a lot of young ones that are like fun. So like at any point you can probably be playing with a cat. But they're very like, being a cafe cat is stressful work. Like they're playing with people all day. If they want to sleep, let them sleep. But they're very health conscious. I can turn you up. How about now? I have the headphones on.
Dr. Mario music.
Is it this? Keep talking.
Fader.
Fader.
Check. Hello. Hello. Hello.
I don't think so.
Hello.
Actually, just say something.
Wait, is this the one with the switch? No. Hello. Check.
I don't even think that's plugged in. I think I'm the only one who's plugged in. This would be you,
Oh,
probably. Okay, how about now?
Check.
There you go.
Check.
There you go.
Hey.
Okay.
So I was gonna hang out for a bit. What's up, stream? Anybody watching? Now you can finally hear what we're talking about. Sekiro, Kingdom Hearts, cat cafes. Speaking of, I was gonna go to Ninja City pretty soon.
Oh, really? Are they still open?
They're open till 2.
Oh, really? Well,
Well, I think they are.
on Friday night. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh yeah, it is Friday. Holy shit. They're open till 2 every day except for Thursday through Saturday.
Thursday through Saturday. Okay.
And then they close at midnight every other day. So, yeah, I was gonna go and get a victory meal because I'm proud of myself for all the crap that I did today. So.
No, I went to a cat cafe and then I bought 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons books. And I came out here, I bought teriyaki, and I ate that.
Nice.
And then I think I took a nap. Because yesterday was my go everywhere day.
Yeah.
Do everything day.
That was today for me.
Yeah.
Thursdays are always like slow, and I could have worked if I wanted to, but I more just wanted to get my room put together.
Yeah.
Started started to, so I at least have everything in a good place. And I actually have room for all my music.
Oh.
So I got my instruments, my guitars pretty much set up.
Wait, you have several guitars.
I have an acoustic guitar.
Okay.
That's in Baton Rouge.
All right.
And I keep it there so when I'm actually there I can just sort of like doodle on it.
Gotcha.
I mean,
Well, yeah.
it's steel string, so it's a pain in the ass to play.
Oh.
And it's very hard to hold anything.
So what about steel string on an acoustic guitar makes it difficult? Because I just imagine, like, if you don't have the calluses already, it just, like...
Yeah, like, so
And you have to press harder?
electric guitar has to have some kind of steel string,
Okay.
but it's tensioned differently.
Okay.
Because it's not tensioned for acoustics, it's tensioned
For
comfort.
Yes. Oh.
Because the pickups, like, you don't need to amplify because that's what the amplifier is for. That's what the pickups are for, is they
Okay.
pick up the signal.
Mhm.
On an acoustic guitar, though, all you have is a hole.
Mhm.
So, like, the tighter your strings are,
Yeah.
the louder they are. So playing on a steel string acoustic is, like, much more difficult than a steel string electric. I mean, on electric it has to be some kind of steel.
Yeah.
Or I like using nickel infused or cobalt infused. I specifically like cobalt because of the ping you get from it. It's got that nice, like, high end and low end that I want out of a guitar.
Okay.
But I have an acoustic
Yes.
that I don't play because it's not here.
Okay.
I have the Rockwood.
The Rockwood.
Now the Rockwood is a guitar that it's made by a company, and if I tried my hardest to look up anything on this guitar officially,
Oh.
and it just doesn't exist. It's called Rockwood by Hohner.
Okay.
So I go to the Hohner, I just, like, do a Hohner history search. Go to the Hohner website.
Yeah.
This guitar just doesn't exist.
No
And
record.
I think it's because it's meant to be a cheap starter guitar.
Okay.
One of those, like, under $100 things.
Yes.
So my brother bought it because he worked at Sam Ash back when Sam Ash was actually a thing.
What's Sam Ash?
It was a music store, like... Actually, is Sam Ash still a thing? Guitar Center.
Okay. So it's like Guitar Center, but...
Actually, no, Sam Ash is still around.
Oh. Alright.
It's like Guitar Center, but for a lot of instruments.
Okay.
He worked at another one that was like a Cleveland-only store
Alright.
that tanked eventually because... I wonder why, because their business practices were stupid. He bought the guitar for $10.
Oh. Alright.
And he switched things out about it. He would work on it kind of like an electronics project.
Yeah.
And then he let it sit in the closet for years and then it rusted.
Oh.
So in comes me and I just see it in there and I'm like, well, he's not gonna want this. And it was when I started the recording program. So I asked one of my teachers to just set it up for me.
Oh, alright.
I paid him like $50 or something.
Okay.
He put real nice strings on it. And in guitars, there's something called, I think it's a struss rod.
Struss rod.
Which
Oh, in the neck?
in the neck of a guitar.
Yes.
This guitar has no struss rod.
Oh.
It's missing. Or it was so rusty that when it was actually Guy. You remember Guy?
Guy. Yeah, Guy.
Audio?
Yeah.
Like really, yeah. He was
Yeah,
one of,
'cause
he was the one that set my guitar up.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, he looked at it and he's like, this thing is just a rusty piece of crap. I got to get it out of there. So he couldn't get the struss rod to turn, so he couldn't tension the
Yeah.
neck.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So he just took it out and hoped for the best, and it kind of worked.
Okay.
So I use that as like my thrashing guitar, my metal thrashing guitar,
Yeah.
because it's kind of a piece of crap already, and you know, I could look into buying a struss rod and trying to put it in there. Just, it's an ongoing project.
Mhm.
And I made most of the Kellbach, most of my discography on that guitar.
Oh, wow.
And I remember offhand, we moved into Elyria, that apartment in Elyria in 2014. I made an offhand comment sometime in the early winter of 2015. Because we would get Sweetwater catalogs, and Sweetwater is just like that giant music outlet. I mean, they're like, for audio, they're kind of renowned for quality and customer and shit. Like, I've had the same lady help me buy gear for years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Lindsay,
That's quality, yeah.
who's a sweetheart.
No,
if you're watching, Lindsay, how you doing? But I saw this. It was... I hate calling it these. I hate the name of the thing. It's called an F-hole.
An F-hole.
on an acoustic guitar, it's really funny because it's just a giant circle. And it's like, this is my F-hole. But on a violin or something, you know, they're shaped like Fs. That's why they're called an F-hole. So there was a guitar that had the sort of violin-shaped F-holes. And it was called the Wildcat. And I'm just like, damn, that is a clean-ass looking guitar. So Emily, being the sneaky partner that she is, totally super sneaky with gifts and stuff, she's like, oh, later in the week she told someone in the tutoring center about it. And she was like, oh, well, I hope you liked it because I bought it for you. And I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? You didn't just buy me that guitar. Because it was something like a $1,500 guitar, but it was on sale for that week only. But for
still fucking
$400
expensive.
or $500,
Okay,
which was a huge sale for it.
Yeah.
I could be wrong about the original Wildcat price. It might have been closer to $1,000, but it was like, this is half of $1,000.
It's a lot of
And she bought it for me, and that's kind of what I use now for my Killbox stuff.
All right.
Put cobalt strings on it. The pickups on it are like immaculate.
I remember because I was just getting to know you when that happened.
Yeah.
Because I remember. I think it was like...
It was shortly after the Math Center became... The Math Center was built.
Okay. Because I remember somebody was like, check out... Or, it was like, it was you or Emma, it was like, check out this guitar. Emily just bought it for me. Or Emily was like, check out this guitar I just got for Kevin. And you were like, she bought me a fucking guitar.
It was a very unexpected. And it was one of those things where she's like, well, I have the money, and this is like a very limited time deal.
Yeah.
And I don't mind getting something for Kevin, so I'll just get it for him. And I'm like, damn, you're awesome. And then, I know it's not a guitar, but I think it was like my family chipped in, Emily's family chipped in, Emily chipped in, Sarah chipped in. I don't know who else chipped in. It was similar to the graphics card thing.
Yeah.
Because my friends are fucking awesome and they bought me a graphics card too. But they bought me the synth, the monologue, which is the first. It's like a very cheap entry level synth that's very versatile, and I've already made a lot of awesome noises on it that I'm slowly implementing into my Afterburner music.
Oh,
But,
all right, yeah.
so that's apart from guitars, but I feel like
That's part of the family.
it's part of the family because it's as versatile as a guitar.
Okay.
It's not polyphonic, but fuck it, dude. I can make fucking awesome bam.
What does
noises.
polyphonic mean?
2 tones at a time.
Okay.
Yeah. Compared to like a saxophone or something, like a sax, you can only play 1 note at a time.
Oh. And so, like, to do chords, you need something polyphonic.
You need something polyphonic.
I see.
Pianos, guitars, lutes. But then, like a trumpet, that's monophonic, 1 tone. And I bought some more cheap synths. I bought a drum kit and a a cheap FM synth that were both like $300 each. I think the monologue was like $600 or $700. I can't remember. But I bought those in Baton Rouge, and man, I put them on a payment plan, a 3-month payment plan. That was really annoying to pay off. Just because Baton Rouge was rough. Die, yellow. Great, now these people just have a bunch of residual pills left in their stomach.
All right.
And they're probably gonna get cancer.
No, they'll piss it out. Piss it out.
So that's an extensive, probably albeit hidden explanation of my beloved instruments. I have more, I just don't talk about them. Like my reed organ.
Reed organ?
Yeah, I have a reed organ. It's just like a cheap $10 reed organ that somebody took apart. And it's in Baton Rouge right now, so. Crash is here, I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Alright, I know I said I was going to go until I die, but I'm too fucking good at this game, so I'm going to finish this level and that's going to be the end of it, because it's 12. And now we know that if everybody's tired except for me, or Mike is sick, and we need to burn 3 hours, because I think that's how long I've been going, I can maintain. I can do it. I can do it. And I'll have a lot of coming out. Because I feel like this is going longer than like just what usually happens. Just too good at Dr. Mario if it's going slow. It's slow, Dr. Mario. Pretty good. There we go. Yes, you know what? I would like to. Alright, I'm almost done. Yes.
So, yeah, there's a gaming hangout that the tutoring center does every Friday, and me and Nick went to it, and Nick just kept saying, I mean, so we go and there's only one switch. with a broken controller, a half-broken controller that has a mind of its own,
That's good.
and Mario Party. And it's like, cool, well, let's just take turns. So we're all just taking turns, talking shit. Like you do at gaming parties. You just make fun of whatever. And I feel like it was very non-directional. And then someone else came and they're like, oh, I have a Switch too, and I live right down the street, so I'm gonna go and grab it and come back and we can all play Smash. Because that's 8 players and we have like 10 people or something. And Nick just kept saying, I want to see Kevin beat you all in Smash. I want to see Kevin beat you all in Smash.
Oh my god.
So I was just kind of like, I was like, hey, okay, yeah, I'll play Smash. In the middle of playing Smash, I realized, oh my god, I'm fucking ruining this hangout. Everybody was just like, yeah, we don't, and they kind of leaned into me. A few of them leaned into me before the hangout, and they're like, "Yeah, a lot of people here don't have friends, or they have trouble making friends because they're college students and like they have trouble connecting, and they're just like they're young college kids, and here I am. I'm just like picking up Smash, just like." I played on a Joy-Con.
A single Joy-Con?
A single Joy-Con, and I was doing some Roy shit that was amazing. And I'm like, man, this is and then afterwards I just sort of like stood up in shame. And I was like, are you happy, Nick? And Nick's like, I did it for you. And I was like, what the hell, Nick? And Nick, if you're watching, what the hell? But that was like the end of the night. And ever since that, I think that was 2 weeks ago. But I've wanted to grab my Switch and go back. But I just couldn't today, which you guys will find out about soon.
Do you ever, like, now that that's happened, like, if you ever find yourself in that situation, how would you, like, handicap yourself? Like, would playing with one hand be enough?
No.
So it's like you're like...
I just wouldn't play.
Just wouldn't play?
I'm too much of a tryhard. Because me and Crash actually play the game for sport.
Yeah.
And, like, these are people that are just like, yeah, I wanna be my me with a sword, and I wanna hit people, and they just like spam.
We've earned money playing this game.
Yeah, we've
specifically sweet. We're gonna take our earnings and go buy it back in Chipotle.
Yeah, we're gonna invest in Chipotle in our bellies.
I mean, I don't know if you know this, but the 2 dudes on the couch beat PGH Carroll and Kofi in a team together. And if you don't know what that means, don't worry, you probably shouldn't. But my point is, it's hard. Like whenever somebody's like, oh, well, go easy on me. I can't. Everything that I do, as far as hitting the stick to the right, triggers so many technical movements that I can't just turn it off. It's just easier to go like, well, I'm just gonna not play, because people be like, just play a character that sucks, play as Kirby, because then the answer to that is no. Then I'm gonna figure out how to drill up tilt you.
Yeah, and I can't not see opportunity at this point. So if they do happen to play Smash, I'm just gonna spectate.
It's like, I wonder if there's a way to like put you on a level playing field with the button mashing crew, just like, because I feel like even if like the only thing you get is the stick and the A button.
Dude, we were playing random stages, items on. I was just all over the place wrecking people, and I was like, they really have no idea how to play this game. Some people never played it. But then some people are like, oh yeah, I play this game all the time. I'm like, pick me, sword fighter, and just sort of do the flippy moves. And I was like,
shield and forward.
I was like, oh god, you're obvious. No, I'm Roy. I'm gonna counter.
Well, that's
And his counter is like a kill hit at 40%.
Well, I'm thinking in terms of FedEx Ganon. I'm thinking in terms of. Ganon.
Oh yeah,
so
okay,
shield and forward smash.
yeah, or shield and big ass foot. So I have yet to redeem myself. I was gonna bring my Switch, and
let the masses play.
Actually, they wanted to play Mario Kart, and I wish Mario Kart allowed you 4 per
system when you do ad hoc. You know?
Oh yeah, because
Instead, it's 2 per system ad hoc,
Makes it ass hoc.
which makes it ass hoc. Yeah,
do they do like a split screen?
yeah.
Oh, okay, so like yeah, well,
But if you ad hoc 2 Mario parties together, then you can do 4 and 4.
Yeah, and then they even make some of the games do that where you're like playing puzzle pieces with swatches on the table.
yeah,
That-
because there
that
is
actually
4-player
sounds pretty
split
sweet.
screen. Yeah.
But I say it like that because it just seems like, I mean, it's like the one game that has that functionality that I know of.
I wonder if they're like design, like if there's a design book and it's like in big letters, it's like never do 4-person split screen on tablet or something like that in like and just the handbook Nintendo gives everybody. And it's like, if you do, we're going to wag our finger at you. And
They usually design their games so you can't.
yeah.
Like you can only do it docked.
Hmm.
But I was gonna bring my Switch and just see like if anybody wanted to play random games on it.
Yeah.
Horizon Chase is on Switch.
Horizon Chase Turbo would be a nice thing.
That would be a nice Switch game.
Yeah.
A nice like couch co-op kind of. They just added co-op to it. They keep adding multiplayer like couch co-op functionality. Now they have little like weekly challenges, like weekly races that are just under goofy circumstances, kind of like a party mode.
Well, Horizon Chase is pretty simplistic in its
Yeah, it's just
design. So can
go-
four on a screen?
Yeah.
Nice. That'd be perfect.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Or 2-player Sky Rogue on Switch. The fucking
I'm pretty sure that if we were doing 2-player Skyrogue anything, it would legit just be me and you and a bunch of people going, "Oh, look at that!"
yeah, there is like some amount of real life tactics you can apply to Sky Rogue, so it's not just flying around and shooting. Anyways, I'm really hungry.
Yeah,
so-
no, okay. So that has been the Courtesy Flush. Thank you for joining us. It's been a wild ride.
Curtis, you're going to go get some Ninja City.
All right, we're going
See
to
you
go
later,
feed.
children.
That's the outro button, and I have to turn the volume up on it. That is turn everybody else down and switch to standby screen.